Hi Cancer, welcome to your weekly love reading. Let's see what's going on for you this week in terms of love. And I'm letting go of the past. Wow, so let's look at their past emotions for you. So Knight of Cups, definitely strong romantic feelings for you. This person felt extremely passionate about you. They may have had a lot of fantasies. I feel as though they were attracted to you on all levels, like physically, emotionally, spiritually, and mentally. I feel this felt like a heaven on earth kind of moment. It felt euphoric, and that's what led to a lot of passion. There may have been a strong magnetic attraction here, may have been a love at first sight kind of thing, or deep infatuation which developed into true feelings, true love over time. But definitely I feel like this person wanted to be close to you. But like I said, I feel like there was some sort of complications going on, because there's the Six of Swords, which is about moving out of difficulties into more harmony, into a brighter future. And so I feel like there was difficulties or instability within your connection in the past. This could have been that this person or both of you, and I do believe that relationships are mirrors of each other, and so we attract what we resonate with at the time. And so I feel there was emotions all over the place here. I feel that there was a lot of insecurity in terms of worrying so much about what the other person thought. It's almost like there was this instant magnetic attraction. It was so strong. For some of you, this is your soulmate. It may even be your twin flame. But there was definitely a recognition of each other's souls, of each other, like very early on within your connection. And so it's almost like you didn't really know each other in the physical, in the 3D. You hadn't got to know each other in this lifetime, but your souls know each other from the higher dimensions and from past lives as well. So it's almost like when you initially had that spark, it felt like lightning struck. But because you didn't know each other in the 3D, in this lifetime, it became very scary, because you felt deeply, deeply connected to each other. This person definitely felt that as well. But because you didn't know each other, it was like the emotions were so intense straight away that it may not have made sense to this person or to you or both of you initially. But it's like, how do you cope with having such intense emotions for someone when you feel as though you don't even know them? And so this person definitely felt a lot of nervousness, and you may have done as well, because the emotions were so immediate and so intense. And it was like the intensity of it created nervousness or anxiety when it came to actually talking or something like that in this lifetime, in the 3D. A lot of nervousness, a lot of self-consciousness, because it was just so immediate. And I feel there was insecurities. You may have met this person when you were young, not necessarily, but it's definitely some triggering of deep, like soul stuff that needs healing, soul wounds, as well as that deep soul love. So everything kind of came up all at once, and I feel like both of you immediately just really wanted to be close to each other and had massive fears of losing each other. So it could have created this codependency, huge fears of loss, of losing this person. You feel like, I finally met the one, but we don't actually know each other in this lifetime, and not wanting to appear, I feel like this person didn't want to appear weird or something, by having such intense emotions for you, or showing that they had that much intense emotions off the bat, because it was unusual for them. You know, they weren't expecting that, or they never experienced that before. So I feel like this person may have been trying to play it cool with you. Definitely triggered up major fears of loss, and so this person, they may have subconsciously projected childhood wounds into this connection, desperately not wanting to be abandoned. And so this person may have gone about trying to chase you and also running from you. I feel like it's a simultaneous thing. Like, chasers are runners and runners are chasers. You know, if someone's chasing, then they're trying to look outside of themselves for that approval, for that validation, to be loved, to feel lovable after all. If we have this childhood wound of not feeling loved, of feeling unworthy. And so that subconsciously gets projected, and that's like the traditional chaser, trying to chase and get that from the other person. But I feel that the other person who's traditionally the runner, it's like they're running away from their wounds, they're running away from being vulnerable because they don't want to be heartbroken. But they can also be chasing. Sometimes they can keep their distance because they see that that's making you chase them, and then they feel that validation that you're kind of obsessed with them, and that makes them feel secure in this connection. And you know, but chasers are running away from their own emotion, you know, looking into their own wounds as well. So this could have been either way around. I feel like for many of you, you will consider this person to have been the runner, but some of you will see them as the chaser, and that you were kind of running away, you know, in the typical kind of sense that plays out. But both were running and both were chasing is what I'm feeling. Like you both wanted to feel a sense of security within the connection. What I'm sensing is this person wanted to feel that you were definitely there for them and that you'd always be there for them. And that may have caused them to act in ways to try and test you, because they had just such intense fears. But at the same time, they feared being open and vulnerable. So complications. But wanting to heal those complications. Could have been power struggles here. Someone trying to take control in terms of making things work. The other person trying to take control in terms of wanting to feel emotionally stable, but because they're feeling emotionally all over the place and they felt like they couldn't control their emotions. So yeah, Ace of Cups in reverse. This person experienced a major heart awakening within this connection. This is saying deep love, but it's also brought up a lot of childhood fears. So I feel like they tried to chase you in many ways, even if you didn't realize it. They may have tried to mold themselves to be what they thought you wanted them to be. They may have done a lot of things to try and secure almost like a dependency. And again, I do feel this is mirrored within this connection. You know, one person may have played like the mother kind of or father role, and the other person may have played the child role. So the parent-child dynamic. The parent wants to feel needed. The parent may want to make the child feel that the child needs them. And then the child may remain playing the childlike role in order to get the love and validation from the parent role. And there's this fear on both sides that if you become equal, then the other won't need you anymore. Like one person may fear that if they stop giving and giving, then the other person's gonna move on, and then the other person feels that if they give the other everything that they want, if they give the parent person whatever they want, then, you know, they may look to another child sort of energy from someone else instead. So 3 of Wands in reverse. How did this person feel about you in the past? There was a lot of fear, basically, a lot of emotional roller coasters going on. And whether you see it or not, I feel like this person was waiting for you. They're waiting for this connection to become harmonious. Some of you may have been waiting for them to take action, but if you'd adopted the parent role, then they may have felt like you were the one in control, so it was down to you to make things work and take action, perhaps. But on a much deeper level, that's just surface level. On a much deeper level, there's definitely a spiritual dynamic going on here, an energetic dynamic. A soul contract is what I'm feeling, where you both need to be on a happy, healthy place within yourselves to have a happy and healthy relationship with each other. So there's insecurities within both of you as individuals. I feel like this person was waiting for that alignment, because it isn't about just one person just making the decision to try and make it happen and then making it happen. You may have tried to make it happen with this person and then it wasn't working out, and you may have believed it was just because this person wasn't being receptive, they were being resistant. But what I've come to understand is that's an illusion. That's how it appears on the surface level. But if we're trying to force things to happen or force the other person to be ready, it's really showing that we're not ready either, because we're trying to force things, because we're in this place of fear. We're in a fear vibration that things aren't going to work out, and so we're clinging hold of it. And that's codependency. So a happy, harmonious relationship won't work if we're trying to hold on and make it happen either. So it was not down to this other person's free will to just make the decision to step up and meet you halfway. You were reflections of each other's insecurities, is what I'm feeling. So I feel as though in the past this person became disheartened, because they, just like you, they were waiting for things to try and become more harmonious. But I feel like there was codependency, so things were going in circles, like the fear kept going in circles, a lack of surrender. And so this person, they eventually did surrender. They had to let go, and it may have appeared that they gave up on you. It may have appeared that they walked away, but someone had to surrender first. Often, especially within the twin flame community, it can appear that the masculine gave up and ran away, but truly it was a surrender, a release of attachment, which has to happen, because that's how we release and detach from the fear vibration, and we go with the flow. So the 6 of Cups in reverse, this is the soulmate card. This person was wanting to come into reconciliation, wanting to come into a reunion, wanting to come back together. May have been trying to force things by wearing a mask. They may have believed that, even if it sounds crazy, they may have believed that wearing a mask and projecting this version of themselves was going to make you more attracted to them and was going to secure a future between you both. But it may have been that mask that was keeping you both apart on both sides. This person felt a lot of heartbreak, a lot of rejection. Even if you totally felt like you were there for this person, in some way they felt indirectly rejected by that. How do they feel about you now? The Joker. So this is the Fool. I feel like there's been a surrender. This person realised that you were both trying too hard to force things to work, and there needed to be like a divine intervention. This connection needed to be handed over to Spirit. And so I feel like this person may have surrendered. They may have appeared to have walked away on the 3D. But there's the Nine of Cups. They still feel that you are their dream come true. They still feel on cloud 9. They still think about you all the time. They still feel this deep love. They still feel that connection to the divine, which is opened up through this connection on a much deeper level. Queen of Cups in reverse. They have, like I said, felt that heartbreak. They felt codependent upon you, but they needed to let go in order to focus on self, in order to allow all these wounds to resurface, to be triggered up, in order to be released and healed. This person's going inwards right now. The Four of Swords, trying to heal themselves. They're thinking about you all the time. 8 of Cups. So right now, I feel like they are in this place where they have felt disappointment over this connection. They still feel that you are the one for them, in terms of you're their soulmate or their twin flame. They may be surrendering in terms of coming into this place of acceptance that whatever happens, happens. They believe that the highest good is going to unfold, and so they're handing it over to the divine. They're letting things unfold in the best way due to, how the divine deems things to be for both of your highest good. And so again, it may feel as though they've walked away, but they may have come to this realization that right now, or in the past, things just were becoming so chaotic, or a roller coaster, and so much pain was happening. This person felt too obsessed, too attached, and attachment is what creates a lot of our pain. And it's like they couldn't take that anymore, and so they've come to this acceptance, and it's a good thing. You may be fearful that it means that they're walking away, but it's a good thing. They've come out of the fear vibration, so that they, if you're going to have this reconciliation in the future, some of you will, some of you might not. They're in the right place emotionally, because it's all the attachment, it's all the codependency that's a major block. It's like looking to the other as a distraction from healing ourselves within. I'm here for you. So yeah, even if they're not right next to you in the 3D, it's like emotionally they're still feeling this deep love for you, still thinking about you all the time. They're still there for you. Like if you cross paths again, or if the universe brings you back together, they're still there for you. They may be reaching out at times as well, but at the same time, they are surrendering. They're allowing things to go in the way of the highest good, according to the divine. What's my purpose? They may be focusing on their life purpose right now. They may be focusing on what's the purpose of this connection. And I'm not sure. So again, it's like surrendering. They're just seeing what unfolds at this time, because it feels the most healing for them to be in that place of surrender. Honesty is important. So they have this realization that your connection can only truly be healthy if there's honest communication. So they may have fears still about being that open and vulnerable, fears of rejection. They may notice or realize that you have the same fears in some cases as well. And so they're healing that. But I feel for the most part they're just being in the present moment right now. They're not trying to overdo things, or they're not trying to run away. They're just going with the flow of what feels right. Yeah, and let go of the past. So there's healing of the past, release, forgiveness. If, difficult things happen between you both, healing that. Letting go of any past dynamic which wasn't serving the connection. There's been a lot of realizations here. A lot of maturity has happened through some kind of separation. So let's look into the divination dice. I'm going to pull out one of the smaller ones first. I'm not going to look. The green. And then one of the large ones. Awesome. Okay. So the horse and the castle. So that's like the Knight of Cups, which was the first card that came out. So feelings of passion. They want to race towards you. But again, this is like a castle with that door with the bars over it. I definitely feel as though you both have been in your comfort zone. You may have just felt like it was the other person. But Spirit is saying it's like on both sides. And just so much passion, but there's been like communication from behind walls. But this is like the knight in shining armor coming to rescue the princess that's stuck in the castle kind of thing as well. But that's what I mean, like I feel like this connection stirred up such deep emotions that you may have both been too caught up in like fantasizing about it, or having some unrealistic expectations, or both basically looking to the other to rescue you, but at the same time you're both wanting to rescue the other as well. But it was like a codependency, as a need to do that healing work within, and I do feel like that is happening, and that has happened on a major level as well. There's definitely a major positive shift in your connection, a release in codependency, so something more real, more realistic can happen between you. So let's look at the charms. How does this person feel about you? Do they really care? Okay. So they're feeling slightly bitter about something. They may have felt rejected by you in some kind of way. Even if you feel like you're always there for them and you're putting in so much work and you're giving so much to them, they may have indirectly taken that to be that you didn't feel they were competent enough, and so you were doubting their abilities to be a good partner or something like that, or they just felt some kind of rejection. So some kind of bitterness here. They may be currently healing, you know, because there was that Six of Swords, moving out of choppy waters into a calmer future, healing from adversity. So healing from feeling some kind of bitterness, some kind of resentment. But they still see that you're working together. You're like these two wheels that work in tandem. The bike is pink, which is, you know, pink and green are the colours of the heart chakra. And they want to move your connection forward together in tandem. So yeah, Big Ben, something to do with London, could be significant. The tower, you know, I feel like you're both within your own towers without fully realizing it. The clock means divine timing has been involved in the connection. So the snowman, this could be very significant for some of you. Could be that someone really enjoys the winter months or really enjoys Christmas. Or it could be like that story of the snowman where it's melted away. You know, at the end of the film he melts. There's just this puddle of, this small pile of snow on the ground. This could be that you feel as though the connection has completely melted away and disappeared and ended. But as we know from the newer films, you know, every like Christmas time or every winter time when it's snowing, that snowman character comes back to life. So it's saying that there's going to be a renewal of your connection. It's going to come back to life. It's very magical as well and exciting, just like that story. So thank you so much. Take care. Bye.